All right, let's dive into a really fascinating corner of the internet today. We're looking at a YouTube live stream that's become this incredibly important hub for women looking for fertility advice. We're going to break down how one creator is building a powerful, close-knit community around what is, for so many, one of the most personal and emotional journeys of their lives. And this question, wow, it was pulled right from the live chat, and it just gets straight to the heart of why this community even exists. This isn't just casual curiosity. This is a space for raw, urgent questions that are carrying years of hope and, frustration. It's such a powerful reminder of why this digital space means so much to its users. So let's unpack how it all really works. So here's our roadmap. First, we'll step into what feels like a digital waiting room. Then, we'll dig into the kinds of questions people ask and the remedies they get. After that, we'll see how this is so much more than a Q&A, and we'll unpack the power of that personal connection. And finally, we'll think about what all this means for the future of getting advice online. Okay, so first things first, let's just set the scene. I want you to picture a virtual room where dozens of women are gathering, all in real time, and they're all there with this one deeply personal, shared goal. And right at the center of this universe is the host, a woman named Mena. Now, she's not positioning herself as some clinical expert in a white coat. Now, she's more like a relatable advisor, and she's built this huge following by creating a place that just feels safe to talk about the super sensitive topic of trying to conceive. The format itself is absolutely key here. This isn't some polished, pre-recorded video. It's a live, totally dynamic conversation. People are typing their deepest questions right into the chat, and Mena is answering them on the spot. That creates this sense of immediacy, of direct access, that is just incredibly compelling. At the start of this particular stream, the audience is pretty small, just 27 people. But here's the thing, instead of seeing that as a bad thing, Mena uses it. It's her secret weapon. By talking directly to that small group, she immediately creates this intimate, hey, we're all in this together kind of vibe. So let's get into the real heart of the stream, the give and take. What are people actually asking, and what kind of answers are they getting back? The questions just pour in, and they cover this huge range of deeply personal, often medical concerns. I mean, you've got people asking about everything from specific conditions like cysts to trying to figure out the complexities of their cycle, all the way to heartbreaking topics like what to do after a miscarriage. It's like a real-time window into the anxieties and the hopes of this entire community. Mena's answers tend to fall into a few key categories. She often suggests these herbal remedies that are really rooted in traditional practices, things like costus root or marjoram. But she'll pair that with really practical lifestyle advice. Drink more water, get some exercise. It's this sort of holistic approach that really empowers her viewers with actionable steps that they can try themselves. Okay, but this live stream is doing so much more than just handing out information. It's actually a pretty sophisticated little ecosystem that's blending community management with a really clear business model. This quote right here, it illustrates that business side perfectly. Mena is an entrepreneur. She completely gets how the YouTube algorithm works, and she's constantly encouraging her audience to engage. She even explains to them, hey, the likes aren't for my ego. They're what makes the stream visible to other women out there who might need our help. It's brilliant. Now, this is where her model gets really, really interesting, because that public live stream, well, that's just the top of the funnel. It's the front door to her world. And there's this really clear pathway she's created. It goes like this. A viewer asks a general question, they get a free public answer. But for something more complex, like that woman who's been trying for 6 years, Mena's advice changes. She'll say, you need to contact me privately. And then she gives out her personal WhatsApp number for paid one-on-one follow-ups. She seamlessly converts her audience members into actual clients. So what's the magic ingredient? Why does this model work so well? Why do viewers trust her enough to make that leap from a free chat to a paid consultation? Well, the answer is all about the incredibly powerful personal connection that she builds. Just take this moment. She spots a familiar name in the chat, Aisha, and she greets her personally, like an old friend. My dear, how are you? By remembering people who come back, she completely transforms what could be a cold transactional Q&A into a genuine community. She makes people feel seen, and that is so powerful. The contrast couldn't be clearer. Instead of being that distant, authoritative expert, Meta is relatable. She's casual. She's warm. She's not a doctor. She's positioning herself as a knowledgeable big sister or that trusted friend who is there to help you out. And nothing, and I mean nothing, illustrates this better than what we've started calling the corn break. So, get this. Midway through the stream, she just casually says she has to check on something in the oven. She disappears off camera for a moment, and then she comes back, eating freshly cooked corn on the cob. She's laughing about how much she loves it, all while continuing to answer these serious fertility questions. I mean, you just can't script a moment like that. It's that kind of raw, unfiltered, real-life authenticity that builds such a profound level of trust. It's basically telling her audience, hey, I'm a real person, just like you are. And that makes her advice feel so much more personal, so much more sincere. Okay, so let's put all the pieces together. What does this show us about this new frontier for health and wellness advice that's popping up online? The appeal is this really powerful cocktail of different things. Sure, community and just being able to get access are huge draws, but look at that. The biggest driver is that personal touch we've been talking about. And of course, underpinning everything is maybe the most important element of all, hope. The belief that maybe, just maybe, this person has the answer that you've been searching for. So what are the big takeaways from all this? First, it's clear that digital creators like Mina are stepping in to fill some very real gaps left by traditional healthcare. Gaps like long wait times or just that feeling of being rushed and not really heard by your doctor. Second, in this online world, a genuine personal connection can sometimes be way more valuable than a list of credentials. Third, the internet is totally blurring the lines between what's free content and what's a paid service. And finally, and maybe most importantly, these spaces are about so much more than just information. They are absolute lifelines of emotional support. And all of this leaves us with a really critical question to think about. As our most personal, most vulnerable conversations about our health migrate onto platforms like YouTube and WhatsApp, we really have to ask ourselves, what does this mean for the future of trust? And who do we decide to turn to for expertise in this new digital age?